Enduro freaks, hey, D Tidwell, EnduroMTBtraining.com. I know it's been a while since I posted something, but it's actually been a little crazy busy around here with the start of Big Mountain Enduro and all, with the Snowmass race, and then this last weekend in Durango. I'm stoked to have gotten third in each, so I'm pretty happy with that. My training has paid off, and I hope if you are a customer that your training is paying off as well. And if you're not a customer, what's up with that? Go to www.EnduroMTBtraining.com and get a program. Even now during the summer, I've had a lot of people actually at the Big Mountain Enduro events where I've had my canopies and whatnot. If you're paying attention to Facebook, you'll see that. Ask, should I start now? Even Marco, the guy who took third this last weekend in Durango as a pro, I was dealing with an upper back issue that he had in Snowmass. He said, should I start now? I said, absolutely. Anytime you can create stability and mobility is always going to help your cycling. So get after it. Now, I posted a question yesterday as it relates to what do you guys want to hear about now that the race season has started? And I got a couple things. One was Forearm Pump and the other was race prep. And I definitely learned a few things about the habits of some of you guys out there, or lack of habits as it relates to racing. And that's cool if you just want to go out and have fun. But if you want to actually try to participate and perform your best, then there are some things that are important. So, things like hydration, properly hydrating yourself way before the race, including the night before. Using a pinch of sea salt, for example, in every jug of water that you have. That will create a good micromineral ratio balance at the intercellular, the in-cell and extra out-cell. From a hydration standpoint, you want both. That's good. One thing I noticed too is lack of food during race days that a lot of people don't eat enough. I personally take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or two. I'll take a big Cliff Bar and even some of the little Cliff Bars, because Cliff Bar has been at every BME race and have provided us with nice good snacks. I also have my little magic potion in my water bottle cage that I carry besides all the water that I carry on my back. And then maybe a few other things that I'm not going to tell you because it's my secret. But you have to be prepared to sometimes, let's see, back in Durango we had 35-mile day coming from Kennebec Pass. Excuse me, that is not right. We had a 16-mile day. We had 35 total between the 2 days, but it's a long day going 4,000 up and 6,500 down. So if you're not properly eating and hydrating yourself along the way, you will bonk, and it will not be fun. And it will lead to that secondary question of forearm pump. So, what is it, how you get it? First of all, how do you ride? Are you a white knuckler, or are you relaxed? I'm going to say that those of you who have forearm pump issues are white knucklers, which is automatically going to rigidize your system and make it more difficult to actually encounter terrain properly as it relates to absorbing what the terrain is throwing at you, and also just overall upper body stress and power leaks because your body is stiff and not mobile and fluid and flowy. So one thing is relax, right, as it relates to forearm pump. One of the things I was doing on some of those 20-minute stages on 1 and 2 on day 1 in Durango was going from outside grip where most of my pressure was because of my single fingers, and going inside on some of those straightaways and just relaxing these outside fingers and letting them relax. And then on some of the uphill stuff that we had, I'd shake out a hand because my right arm shoulder tends to get a little numb. My hand gets numb sometimes from a past injury. So I have to shake it out. So that's another thing to do, is to shake it out. And the other thing you have to think about big time is posture, right? So all of the blood vessels and nerves come underneath the clavicle that innervate the arm and or provide blood flow to and from the hand and the arm. So if this is good posture and this is poor posture, look at what's happening to the length here, right? So if this is good posture and all of a sudden I go into poor posture, look at the distance between here and here. it just increased, right? So that's automatic nervous system stress and lengthening stress as it relates to veins and arteries. So those two things, as it relates to the one overall big thought of posture, can really create big time forearm issues as it relates to forearm pump. Okay, so you have to think posture, and that's a training thing. For those of you who sit at the desk all day, I say this all the time, and you've heard me say it, but you can't sit there for 8 hours like this and expect to race well, not have forearm issues, not have breathing issues, not have poor posture, not to have forward head carriage, all this other kind of stuff that affects all those things. So you have to train in the gym to correct poor posture and have good posture that's going to translate onto your bike, right? Which, by the way, is just a duplication of what you do at work, right? So we're on our bikes like this for however long, but you do this all day, it's terrible. It's a magnifier. We don't want that. So you have to train in the gym with stretching, stability exercise, strengthening, to make sure that you have good foundational posture so that you don't get forearm issues, okay? What else? Trigger points and adhesions. If you have a stick, if you're at any of the BME races, we sell a version of this for you so that you can use it as well as foam rolling. But what you should do is take your stick or a rolling pin or a golf club or a half-inch PVC pipe, anything that is round, and stick it somewhere like in a railing, the back of a chair, anywhere where you can get some leverage, and just start working through the top part of your arm. Okay, this top part here, where this extensor group is, that's what creates this move here. It's what's called extension of the wrist. This back here is flexion of the wrist, where all the wrist flexors are. So there has to be this nice balance of good, healthy tissue between the two. If one's all knotted up, it's going to affect the ability of the other side to work normally. So I would just work through and go all the way through any of this other tissue. This is like foam rolling for the forearm, really. And also get up into the upper arm as the bicep-tricep attachments come down onto the elbow, because that matters as well, right? So you're just going in through and you're searching, destroying, coming on top to get those flexors, and just looking for any spots. Like there's a little spot right there. Sends a little zip into my finger. Now it's gone, but I'm going to sit on that trigger point, right? And just work through this tissue. But you have to do it repetitively, just like with your foam rolling, just like with your lacrosse ball work, just like with all that self-therapy stuff that I've taught you many times before. So those are the ideas related to forearm pump. Okay, there are things you can do like strengthening and things like that for the wrist and the elbow, but most of you are struggling, just like I've always done most of the self-therapy stuff, because most of you guys have mobility issues and adhesion issues more than you actually have muscle contractile issues as it relates to training. We're going to get into training. Don't worry about that here soon enough. But work on your soft tissue stuff. It'll make a world of difference, okay? And what else? Any questions? info@enduromtbtraining.com. Please go buy our program. You've got three choices now. You've got a flexibility and a stability. It's 2 programs in that program for a whopping $67, and then you've got a strength and power program that you can get also for $67, and then you can get the whole program for $97. So anyway, www.enduromtbtraining.com, and please, if you are at any Big Mountain Enduro event, please come and say hi, and I hope this stuff helps you guys. Have a great week. We will talk to you soon enough.